Okay. Hello and good evening. I want to thank you all for being here tonight.
Is this my ticket?
Thank you.
Oh,
I'd like to thank the Watchmakers of Pennsylvania for inviting me here. I'd like to thank Jim for show and tell and explain my thoughts and exhibit my efforts in the noble field of horology. And I'd also like to thank the AWCI for also being a part of my being here tonight. Well, like when you go back into the 1500s, 1600s, really what these guys were doing was, they would get the wheels from the wheel maker, pinions from the pinion maker, springs from the spring maker, and then they would sit, because the watchmaker really is the assembler. Okay? I just took it a little bit further, and what they would do is make sometimes they would buy plates in the raw and then configure them, pretty much like what you're doing at the school. You know, basically have the movement together and then decide what shape, how you're going to do it. In the presentation, you show the cutouts, the engraved ones. So basically the same type of thing, only instead of working with a raw movement, I'm just working with simple plates that will turn into a movement itself. You give a nice close look at it. Just the very tips went to a nice blue, and the rest stayed in the steel. So on this one here, I actually call this a smoked steel escape wheel. So really, I just put thought into what I wanted to do, and just make a check, and that's consistent throughout. Then I'm going to check, and that's consistent throughout. And check, and that's consistent throughout. So really, what I did was, when you look at for example, the top part coming up into here, okay, that looks the way it does because I wanted the mainspring to be completely covered. On the other model, like the one I'm wearing here, the mainspring is I opened it up even more, and the mainspring barrel is viewed. But this looks this way because I wanted to cover that. I wanted to cover the hour wheel, and I wanted to cover the minute wheel, the intermediate set wheel, and I just wanted to open this up so the clutch springs underneath could be viewed. So really, again, by taking my cue from Breguet, what I did was, to me, that's the concept of negative feedback. I just knew what I wanted to do to cover it up. I took away the rest of the material. Because again, what I'm doing, I'm jeweling everything. I jeweled the minute wheel on the back, I jeweled the click. I jeweled virtually every part where there's friction. On this particular one, believe it or not, is actually, I'm calling this a true free-sprung balance, because I have no regulator on the hairspring, and there are no screws or anything on the balance wheel itself. There's no regulation at all.